Hello, my dear students. I am Dr. Pandurangar, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Studies in Economics, Vijayanagara Sri Krishnadevara University, Bellary. Today, I would like to have a special class on an overview of Indian economy. So, these are the concept which I like to cover in this class. The national income and per capita income, poverty and inequality income distribution, heavy population pressure, dependency on agriculture, monetary system, planning system in India, human development index, LPG or new economic reforms, demonetization and goods and services tax. So dear students, this online video is developed for the benefiting of competitive exams, maybe for PSI or for SDA, FDA or for other competitive exams, and also it helps you to crack NET and KCET exam. So as we aware, every economy has its own unique characteristics or features is known as identified. So economies are compared with each other around the world. So in fact, we have some of the institutions who categorize the economies into developed economies, developing economies, underdeveloped economies. And we have some of the reports like human development reports. They categorize economies into different, like very high human development countries, high human development countries, medium human development countries, and low human development countries based on different criteria. So as we know, India was one of the richest country in the world before independence. In fact, India had around 23% of wealth in the world wealth, but whereas it was looted by British, hence the present India's share in the world wealth is only 2%. So after independence, in fact, India had lot of troubles. In order to overcome the troubles, the prime minister had his own vision, and he had introduced a lot of planning systems and plans in India. So let us understand an overview of Indian economy one by one. As we know, India is still referred as one of the a developing country, or recently it is also referred as one of the most emerging nation in the world. In terms of national income, India stands seventh place in the world. I mean, in terms of nominal GDP, gross domestic product. So national income is measured by different concepts around the world, whereas GDP is for most accepted device to scale the national income in the world. The gross domestic product is defined as the total value of all final goods and services produced annually in the country. It is called as gross domestic product. So according to 2019-20 financial year, our national income is 181.10 lakh crore, and even our per capita income has come down. The per capita income is divided by total national income and total population, we will get the per capita income. Per capita income is also called as an average income of a person. In fact, according to 2019-20 financial year, our per capita income is only 1,35,000. It is very less compared to so-called developed countries like America. So let us understand in India how national income is being measured before independence and after independence. So dear students, as we know, national income in India for the first time was estimated by Dadabhai Nauroji in the year of 1868. So when Dadabhai Nauroji had estimated national income, so it was around 340 crore and per capita income was only 20 rupees. After Dadabhai Nauroji, so many economists, so many historians had estimated the national income in their own way. But whereas one of the most popular economist is called as V.K.R.V. Rao had estimated the national income in India for the first time in scientifically. So V.K.R.V. Rao had estimated national income first time scientifically. So what is the scientific method? Simple. Scientific method is combined with the income method, expenditure method and output method. So V.K.R.V. Rao combined these three methods and estimated national income. Hence he is referred as he is the first person to estimate the national income in India in scientifically. So after independence, in fact in 1947-49, a committee was formulated under the chairmanship of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis. He is one of the finest economists as well as the father of Indian statistics, consisting member of Dr. Gadgil and V.K.R.V. Rao. This committee is called as National Income Committee. This committee had recommended to establish the Central Statistical Organization. Hence, in the year of 1951, on May 2nd, the Central Statistical Organization was established, and recently the name of organization has been modified with the name of office. Now CSO is abbreviated as Central Statistical Office. The main task of the CSO is to conduct the economic census and estimate the CPI, Consumer Price Index, and also estimate the national income, and also publish the Human Development Index for every year. So let us understand how poverty exists in India. As we know, there is a saying is given by ex-Prime Minister of India, the Srimati Indira Gandhi. She said, India is a rich country inhabited by poor people. So it indicates the India has more deprived population or more disadvantaged population who completely suffers from their daily needs. So poverty is refers to a situation when the people deprived of basic necessities, or in other words, it refers to state of lack of essential needs for subsistency of life. In poverty, we can categorize two kinds of poverty. One is absolute poverty and second one is relative poverty. As we know, the absolute poverty, it is a condition where a person does not have minimum amount of income needed to meet the minimum requirements for one or for more basic living needs for an extended period of time. Here, the people have no sufficient amount to lead their daily lives. and they have scarcity of basic needs. They are referred as absolute poor. And relative poor means it is a comparison of income. Here, the poverty is seen as achieving less by an individual in a society compared to another individual. Hence, poverty is seen as comparative deprivation or, in another sense, inequality. So, relative poverty is also referred as income inequality. In the situation of relative poverty, the people have sufficient amount to lead their life, but their standard of living is not up to the mark. So in India, relative poverty is higher than the absolute poverty. So poverty estimation in India. As we know earlier, the poverty was being estimated by Planning Commission, but Planning Commission has been renamed or replaced as Niti Ayoga in 2015. So now the task of poverty estimation is with the Niti Ayoga, but whereas Niti Ayoga usually uh, appoints a committee to estimate the national income. See, these are the committees formulated so far on poverty estimation. Dandekar and Rath Committee, Algha Committee, Lakdawala Committee, Tendulkar Committee, Saxena Committee on Rural People, Ashima Committee, Urban People, and C. Rangarajan Committee. In fact, in 2012, the under the chairmanship of one of the ex-governor of RBI and also ex economic advisor of Prime Minister C. Rangarajan. So under his chairmanship, a committee has been formulated. The committee had submitted its report in 2013 and stated that India has around 29.5% of poverty. So this committee had submitted report based on the daily per capita expenditure of a person, and they fixed 32 rupees for rural area to per person and 47 rupees for urban area per person. Who does spend 32 rupees in rural area and 47 rupees in urban area for every day for their daily consumption, they are not referred as poor. If they spend less than 32 and 47 rupees in the rural and urban area respectively, they are referred as poor. So in fact, in India, we have some of the states referred as poorest of the poor states. They are referred as Bimaru. Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. These are the poorest of the poor state in the nation. The next point is heavy population. In fact, we pretend to give the reason for underdevelopment of nation is heavy population, but if we look at the China never says population is hurdle for its growth. So in fact, in India, population is estimated by NSSO, National Sample Survey Office, and the census is being conducted once in a decade. The first census was conducted in 1872, and recently, I mean in 2011, a census was conducted. It was the 50th census of India, and it was the 7th census after independence. So according to 2011 census, India's population is around 121 crore. In fact, in this year 2021 census needs to be conducted by the central government. So in 2011 census, around 35 states and union territories are covered, 640 districts, 5,924 sub-districts, 7,936 towns, and 6 lakh 4.1 lakh villages are covered. So most populated states according to 2011 census are Uttar Pradesh stands first in the nation, Maharashtra second, Bihar third, West Bengal fourth, Andhra Pradesh. But recently, in 2014, Andhra was divided into two states like Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So let us understand how much population is depending on agriculture. So as we are reading when we were students, we used to say that agriculture is the backbone of Indian economy because more than 75% of India's population depends upon agricultural activities. But according to 2019, the quantum of dependency on agriculture has come down from 75% to 56%. So presently 56% of India's population depends on agriculture sector. So out of 56, only 17% of income is generated from the agriculture sector. The contribution of agriculture sector to our gross domestic product is hardly 17%, but whereas dependency of population is around 56%. So let us understand the monetary system in India, how it works. We all know Reserve Bank of India is Central Bank of India. In fact, the Reserve Bank of India is apex bank of the monetary system in the nation. The RBI was established in the year of 1935 on April 1st by the recommendation of Hilton Young Commission. So this Hilton Young Commission had recommended to establish RBI by referring a book of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar written as The Problem of Rupee, Its Origin and Solution in the year of 1923. So the kingpin of establishment of Reserve Bank of India is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Initially, the headquarters of Reserve Bank of India was located in Calcutta, but in the year of 1937, this headquarters has been shifted into Mumbai. So when RBI was established, it was in the private hand, but the RBI was nationalized in the year of 1949. And in 1956, RBI had introduced a system is called as minimum reserve system. So RBI is required to maintain gold and foreign exchange reserve of Rs 200 crore, of which at least 115 crore should be in gold, or rest of 85 crore may be in the form of gold or foreign exchange in order to mint the new currency. If RBI wants to mint the new currency, it has to follow the criteria of minimum reserve system. So some of the milestones were taken place in Indian currency, like from 1969 onwards, 1, 2, 5, 10 and 100 rupees notes have been started to mint by the RBI. From 1970 onwards, 20 and 50 rupees notes had been introduced. From 1987 onwards, 500 notes have been introduced. From 2000 onwards, 1000 rupees notes were introduced. And in 1994, RBI stopped to distribute 1 rupee note, but again it started to distribute the 1 rupee note due to change problem in the public. From 2016 onwards, RBI introduced 2000 rupees notes. So in fact, in the Indian currency note, we can find out the portrait of Mahatma Gandhi ji. So the RBI had taken a call to mint the portrait of Mahatma Gandhi ji in 1996. So before that, I think Indian currency had no portrait of Mahatma Gandhiji. Since 1996, we have been seeing the portrait of Mahatma Gandhiji on the Indian currency. So in 1969, as we know, 14 commercial banks were nationalized, and in 1980, 6 banks were nationalized. So these are the functions of RBI. In fact, I don't want to go in depth of functions of RBI. The main function of RBI is to issue the banknotes, and it mints the currency and it issues the banknotes. And second function, banker to the government. In fact, when government has its own difficulties in terms of finance, government will seek loan from the RBI. Hence, it is called as bankers to the government. And it is a custodian of cash reserve. It receives the cash from the other banks, and it assists when banks will have the financial troubles. And it is a custodian of foreign currency or foreign currency reserves, because it keeps the foreign currency itself in order to maintain the export and import, or for some other activities with the rest of the world. Lender of the last resort. As I told you, if any banks have the financial problem, so at the end the RBI will escort them. So that is what it referred as the lender of the last resort. And controller of the credit. In fact, RBI has the right to control the credit, and it has the right to boost the credit in the Indian economy. So governors of RBI. So as we know, the first governor of RBI is Osborne Smith, but he was not Indian. So he was from the he was from Britain. But the first governor, Indian governor of RBI is C.D. Deshmukh. So right now we have Shaktikant Das, he is the 25th governor of RBI. In fact, we had very good governor of RBI like Raghuram Rajan, like Manmohan Singh, and like Urjit Patel, and like we have in fact we had governor for RBI is C Rangarajan. So the planning system in India, as we know, for every country, plans are very crucial to determine the development activities in the nation. As I told you, after independence, India had its own difficulties to structure the plans. So we had 5 year plans, we had different kinds of rolling plans, we had annual plans. It's depend upon the trouble in the nation. We had different kind of plans. So in fact, we had planning commission. Planning commission used to prepare the plans, and NDC was given the right to approval for the prepared plans by the planning commission. And we had 5 year plans. In fact, from 1951 up to 2017, we had 12 5 year plans. So almost 12 5 year plans were prepared by planning commission and approved by the National Development Council. So right now we have Niti Ayoga. Instead of had the planning commission. Planning commission had been replaced as Niti Ayoga, National Institution for Transforming India. So the chairman, usually chairman of the Niti Ayoga is Prime Minister of India. Right now vice chairperson is Rajiv Kumar, and we have 3 members of the Niti Ayoga. One is Ramesh Chand, second one is VK Saraswat, and Shri Vivek Debrod, and we have Chief Executive Officer for Niti Ayoga is Amitabh Kant. So this is National Development Council. As I told you, NDC had the task to evaluate the prepared plans, and as I said you, the planning commission used to prepare the 5 year plans, but it was approved. It was approved by the National Development Council. And we have finance commission. In fact, the finance commission is a constitutional body. Article 280 speaks about the finance commission. A finance commission is appointed for a 5 years. In fact, so far 14 finance commission had worked in India. So we have now the 15th finance commission chaired by NK Singh. From 2020 to 25 we have 15 finance commission. So in fact, let us see a bird eye view of the fire plans in India. As I told you, we had 12 fire plan. So from 1951 to 2017 we had 12 fire plan. In fact, first fire plan was based on the agricultural development. It focused more for agriculture development. In fact, first fire plan had reached its target and it had achievement more than its target. So this is the view of first fire plan. In fact, I had made some bold I had made bold words to for some fire plans. In fact, the fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. In fact, first fire plan also. These fire plans had reached. These fire plans had achievement more than they had a target. These fire plans had reached more than they had target. That's what the plus positive mark is given in the first, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth fire plan. So 12th fire plan was the last fire plan in India. So from 2017 onwards we had different plan in the name of Vision Document 50. And we have one of the most accepted index in the world is called as Human Development Index. So this index was proposed by one of the finest economists of the world. He is Professor Professor Mehboob Hulak, and it was developed by Amartya Sen and some of other economists also. So Human Development Index is being published by United Nations Development Program every year. So it is most popularly accepted report in the world. So as we know, in terms of wealth we say America is the richest country in the world, but whereas in terms of Human Development Index, America does not stand even in 5th place. So Norway stands first, Ireland second, Switzerland third, Hong Kong and Iceland. These are the 5 ranked countries in the world. So India stands at 130th place according to 2020 Human Development Index. So in fact, it can be stated that India is not so standardized in the Human Development Index. So new economic reforms, also called as LPG. In fact, LPG liberalization, privatization, globalization was introduced in the year of 1991 on July 24, because we had the crisis in foreign exchange. Hence, we went for the new economic reforms in 1991. Demonetization, as we all aware of that, in 2016 demonetization was happened. So in fact, it was not first demonetization in India, it was third demonetization. The first demonetization was happened in 1946 and second 1978, and third demonetization was made in 2016. So demonetization means it's an act of stripping the legal tender status of currency units. It happens whenever there is a change of any national currency. It involves the withdrawal of old currency to circulate the new currency. So what are the use of demonetization means? One is to stabilize the currency and fight inflation, and to promote trade and access to markets, and to bring transparency in informal economic activities and away from the black and grey markets. If economists find out that there is existence of black money in the nation, so they can propose to go for the demonetization. And the last point is goods and services tax. The idea of GST was mooted in India in the year of 2006, but due to some technical reason, the government of India was not able to introduce GST. At the end of 2017, on July 1st, GST has come into effect. So we have four types of GST, like central goods and services tax, union territory goods and services tax, integrated goods and services tax, and state goods and services tax. So we have four slabs in GST, from 5%, 12%, 18%, and 28%. In GST, some goods and services would be exempted, like petrol, diesel, tobacco, and the alcohol. These are the exempted items in the GST. And there will be cess on some luxurious items, or some demerit goods more than 28%. So this is all about an overview of Indian economy. So if you have any comments or questions, kindly ask me. Thank you so much for watching this